It literally says version 2, good luck, Chris. Heck yeah, there it is. Yeah, here she comes. What's going on, everybody? Chris Jones with the World's Worst Fishing. Welcome back to the channel, and thanks for being here. Today is going to be a really fun video. It's new mold day. You guys wanted it, you asked for it, you got it. Here comes the G3 open pore swim bait mold, and yeah, it's going to be awesome. It's a very small mold with some very tight dimensions to pour in, so we're in for a little bit of a challenge. And actually we have one of the beta test versions of the mold that Josh said is very hard to pour, and that's why he had to make a few changes for the final version. So I'll definitely show you the differences in those two molds, and then we're going to set up like a separate challenge for ourselves to pour that test version. So yeah, it's a day of challenges, and not only just to pour that test mold. However, you know, another challenge to note was how challenging this mold was to make and to get right. You know, anytime you're taking a bait and you're shrinking it, you can't just shrink it and you're done, right? There's a lot of testing that's involved. You know, Josh had to make a few changes to the tail. He had to make a few changes to the I guess the top profile to make the mold more pourable and still get it to swim. A lot of work goes into it. So yeah, absolutely, what a challenge of a project, and I think the guys at AI have done it again. Let's take a look at the G series open pore swim bait molds. All right, so we started with the G5. Okay, there it is, G5 in all its glory. Absolutely amazing bait, amazing mold. Okay, then was introduced the G4. Okay, I believe this is the order, right? Yeah, G4 was next. Yeah, okay, right, a little bit smaller. Then came in the G6. All right, amazing stuff there. All right, well, we have a new family member. Introducing this little guy, the G3. So right away, you may notice the hook slot in the belly. Quite different, right? Like, what's going on here? Well, just AI molds understanding the market and their customers and how often a small bait is going to be rigged on a jig head. You have the functionality of the dual insert, okay? You can put the slot insert in this position. Okay, now you have slotted belly, right? However, you can also flip it. Come on, baby. Yeah. And now you have a dummy insert for solid body. So there's sort of, I guess, one of the early CAD drawings of it. So you can see it's maybe just a smidge over 3 inches. And it takes a 4mm eyeball. So just to try to keep the eyeball proportionate to the size of the head, he went ahead and went down to 4mm. So in the G6 we have 8mm, G5 we have 6, G4 we have 6, G3 now we have 4. It literally says version 2, good luck, Chris. That's awesome. So if we look at the top profile here. Alright, and then we look at the top profile here. Look at the tails. A little bit different, right? You see how this tail's been opened up a little bit in the top. Okay, so just look at the space you have there versus the space you have there. That was a big part of making the G3 pourable without frustrating everybody and making everybody pull their hair out. So what we're going to do is we're going to attempt to pour version 2 perfectly, because I think it can be done. With proper temperature, you get that mold piping hot enough. If I can pour a thin enough stream in there, I think we'll get that mold to fill just as well as the others. Okay, so we're going to attempt to kill dot these, and boy, placement's going to be a challenge. size is going to be a challenge. So, you know, I've got to try to do everything with more precision than I'm used to doing. And I'm already pretty precise, but this is going to require even more. Okay. Yeah, I don't like that. So it's too low. It needs to be a little bit higher. The size is not bad, but it's just not right where I want it to be. So we're going to need to try again. So here we go. Let's see if we can get it again. I just got to be so precise. Oh, see, way too big. That would work if this was like a 5-inch mold. All right, attempt number 3, right? Yeah, pretty sure this is our 3rd go at it. Come on, baby. Ooh, that's a little better. Yeah, that's actually not too bad. All right, so we got 2 down there. Oops. Let's go ahead and try to get this one. That's a little big, but the placement is really good. So we might keep that one. I'm starting to kinda establish a groove. And it really doesn't matter which mold I'm pouring, whether it's you know, one of the other G molds or some of the original AI open pours. You know, pouring the little tiny kill dots is tough. And even as experienced as I am, I still have to come out here, and some days it takes me several tries before I can really get into a rhythm. So now we're a little bit in a rhythm. I've got my feel down for it today, and we're going to go ahead and dot the rest of them. Okay, here we go. We even dotted up the version 2. Now the test mold version 2 doesn't have a hook slot, so it's going to look a little different than the others, but we're going to try to pour it right along with the normal G3s and see if it comes out. You know, that's sort of a little challenge that the guys at AI wanted me to do was, hey, see if you can get version 2 to pour. So true to my word, we are going to include it. All right, so I've got the molds on the hot plate. We've set for a target temperature of 260 degrees. You can see we're about there. We're just going to kind of wait for them to get hot enough that they can boil some water off the surface. So I have the 3 final versions here, and then I have version 2 being discriminated against all the way there behind them, all by himself. But no, seriously, we're just kind of letting them preheat. And I think we're going to go with Chartreuse Sexy Shad. Ooh, y'all see that? We are about there. Yep, look at that. Yeah, that's 95%. All right, let's try and do this. So looking at the position of the hook slot insert, and again, this is my first time pouring the mold, to get the belly color high enough in the bait to sort of line up with that eyeball insert and thus line up with the shad dot, I need to pour it above the hook slot insert, so above the top of the hook slot insert. Yeah, so here we go. This is just straight swim bait plastic, no powder, no pigment. Of course, you can choose to do whatever you want, right? I just really love the way that the colors play on clear plastic. Okay. We're going to stop it there and just kind of let that plastic run out. Alright, so that one I think we poured it too high. Yep, unfortunately that one is ruined. I poured the belly color way too high, which once that plastic's in there, it's in there. You're not getting it out. So we're going to try again. We're going to scoot the camera back a little bit to try to just give me a little bit more room to work with. And one thing that I did not do on that last pour is I actually like to start my belly pours actually towards the tail. So let me try to pour this one as if I was not on camera, if I can. That's the hard part. Pour it up the body a little bit and bring it down. just barely cover that hook slot insert. Okay, we'll stop there. Yeah, you can see it just filled in. Okay, that is definitely a bit better. Again, this is our first time, so we are a little bit guessing how to pour this one. So I think that's what we're gonna do, is just try to barely cover the hook slot insert. The first one, I covered it way too much, but hey, you know, we're trying to learn the mold, and that's part of the learning, the growing pains, is just kind of figuring out your dimensions, you know, especially in such small spaces. Alright, I'm still not 100% confident that I've got the bellies poured exactly to the correct height, but that's part of the learning process, so we will find out. We're going to go ahead and take the remainder of this belly plastic, and we're going to go ahead and fire up a vein color. So a few drops of dead-on chartreuse and a little bit of gold pearl will make this one really pop, okay? And it's the chartreuse in the vein that really brightens the color as a whole, right? So, you know, the belly being clear, it's going to reflect and amplify whatever your vein color is. So that's a little trick that you can keep in mind is, you know, a clear belly or a belly that is very lightly saturated with either powder or pigment will really amplify whatever the next strongest color is. So if you pour a really vibrant vein, your belly's going to amplify that. And that's what I want here, is for the chartreuse and the lighter color vein to really make this bait pop. Alright, so here's what we had from that first mold, okay? The one that we poured too high. And you can see the belly color went almost to the top of the kill dot, and you can see it almost went over the eyeball and even filled in part of the head. So we poured that belly color way too high, which was not going to leave us enough room for the vein and for the top color. So that's what I'm talking about whenever I'm talking about the height of the belly color. You know, we're only talking about a little bit of clearance here, top to bottom, right? That's not a lot of room. That's, you know, the width of a pinky finger. We want to let the temperature of the mold do the work. We want thin, hot layers. I don't think that's quite enough plastic in the head. I think we need another drop or two to get it all the way up into the nose. You know, we want to try to pour the veins to where they kind of stop right there at the eyeball slot. Yeah, that's actually looking not half bad. Okay. Yeah, that's not too bad. Alright, we're going to try this one. Yeah, there we go. Okay, and sorry about the laundry noise in the back. Y'all know that is inevitable. So the top color is basically black base. Come on, baby. Damn on. 3, 4, 5. Okay, 6. All right, lucky 6. So years ago, we did a video called The Perfect Sexy Shad, which we sort of developed the color profile of my sexy shad. And I've kept it ever since. And really, all I've changed here and there is my vein color, which will change the whole look of the bait, and I will be able to show you that difference here shortly. So black pigment with blue highlight, okay? All right. And so the blue highlight is the only blue in this. That's actually a little bit too much. So we're going to scoop some out. And then I like to put a drop of emerald green. It just really makes this beautiful. Okay, and there it is. So once we stir that in, you'll see we get a really nice deep dark shade of blue, and the only blue in it is the highlight. There's really no blue color in it because highlight doesn't color plastic. So you're really only seeing an illusion of blue in the color, and man, does it play nicely with the rest of the bait. Okay, here we go. Laundry noise and all. Let's see if we can do this. Oh, spilled it. So it's the tail that's going to be tricky. Oh, that's nice. Having it open like that, that's not a problem at all. And okay, I lied. Overpoured it. Okay. Okay, well, aside from me just sucking, that's actually not hard at all. And I mean, in fact, that pours like the G4. All right, so now let's shift over here, see if we can do a little bit better job. Perfect. Perfect, perfect. What I will say is that the tail fills up fast because it's very small. So you'll be pouring the tail, then all of a sudden it comes flooding up. So definitely got to take that slow. Okay, version 2 in the back. Here we go. Oh, how awful is that laundry noise? Okay, I think we got them. All right, here we go. First ever G3 seen in the public eye. Well, at least on this channel. And I have no idea how it's going to turn out. I have not taken any of the other ones out except for the belly on the first one that we messed up. So here we go. Drum roll, please. Let's see if it turned out, or if we have to go back to the practice room, back to the drawing board, as it were. I don't know what side it's going to come out on. Alright, we're just going to open her up. Hey! That's actually not too bad. Good Lord, is that not tiny? I love it. Ha ha! That is really not bad. So I think I poured the vein maybe a little bit too far up into the nose, but hey, like, beggars can't be choosers here. Really nice. You can see the tail filled out. Look how small these things are. I mean, that's my thumbnail, and I'm not a big person, you know. Now, what's cool, and you might notice this, what's really cool about combining a pigment with a powder, right, in your vein, is that look how it looks like two veins, right? We have this chartreuse, but then you can see that gold pearl effect, right? It almost looks like two veins. Are y'all seeing that right there? It looks like two veins, but it's not. It's only one, right? Look at it from a different angle, and all of a sudden you've got all this different color happening. Yeah, everything filled in very nicely. The nose filled in clean. There's no air pockets in the nose. Nice flat top. That absolutely, okay, I'm very impressed. So here's something I actually missed earlier. I did not pick up on it until Josh was texting me a minute ago. This hook slot is even more magical than we thought. It actually has 3 positions. Look at this. Okay, we have this slotted position. Okay, for a shallow slot, we can then move it up, put it in that position for a more deeper slot. Okay, and of course you also have the oops, wrong way, the delete version for solid body. Yeah, look at this. There it is, y'all. Okay, well, that went about as good as it could go. Look at that. Okay, here we go. All right, good luck. Let's see if we did, in fact, have some good luck. I'm pretty confident. You know, I poured it, and it seemed like it was filling. You know, the molds were proper temp, but that tail was tricky. Okay, looks like we got it. Yeah. So you can see we have this giant plastic, I guess, flap on the bottom. Yeah, I think we got it. So head filled in. Did the tail fill in? Uh-oh, Josh, we got it. There it is. We got it. So, yeah, I think the key to version 2 was just getting the mold up to proper temp. And, you know, you can just kind of let the heat do the work for you. It's going to fill in these tiny spots. You know, had this mold not been hot, that would have been impossible. All right, it is the next morning, and it's pretty early out, so pretty low light, so we don't have a lot of good natural light in here. But yeah, there is the bait. I still can't get over how small it is. Yeah, there we go. Okay, we're going to try to do this on camera here. So this is what we have. We have some just little finesse jig heads, and this is 1/8 ounce. You could even go a little bit bigger and definitely a little bit longer shank, but this is what I had that I figured would fit a bait about this size. You could definitely have a longer shank hook that runs even, you know, down to here without really messing up the action of the bait. You know, what you never want is a hook that goes so far into the tail that it stops the swimming motion of the bait. So in any event, we're just going to kind of rig one up real quick, and this will be for, you know, test footage demonstration. And you know, you'll kind of notice that the jig head already has eyeballs on it. So in this case, I can get away with not having to mess with the 4mm eyes if I'm going to throw it on, you know, a jig head that already has eyes. Out here doing our normal thing on Father's Day. We have been through some frogs too. Look at that.
Oh yeah.
That's the frog graveyard, or the gray. Well, I don't know. That's the trash can. And let's see what's in here. Oh, quite a few. That's what we like to see. Oh, yes, sir. Yep. Been an awesome trip. Tossing our frogs, and then now we're gonna get some swim footage of the G3. Alright, I got it casted out, and he's gonna swim her by. Hopefully we can get her there. Yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah, here she comes. Yeah. Oh, hit some moss. Yeah, so as you can see, it actually slow rolls really well. Look at that. Trying to avoid the sun glare.
Actually, that does.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so you know, you want to be able to burn it and the tail not blow out and it still look good, but you also want to be able to slow roll it. You know, and normally, you know, the slower you're going, the less water movement. Sometimes they won't kick as much. Yeah, slow rolls really well. All right, 4-layer bluegill. Let's see if we got it. Drum roll, please. Okay, doke. Let's open one up. Let's see. All right. Oop, oop, oop. Almost. Look at this little bad cat. Ha ha. There it is. Trying to show it to you without too much glare. That's the problem with new molds. They're so shiny. They're so glare. There's a lot of glare. Yeah, there it is. So in the G3, something that is smaller than my finger here, you know, you can see a very comfortable 4-layer laminate poured very comfortably. No issues at all doing that. Heck yeah, there it is. Right on. Yeah, crazy to believe you can fit all that color into such a small mold. But hey, I guess we do it in the worms. So yeah, I guess this isn't too crazy, but yeah, awesome. Mold pours wonderfully, swims wonderfully. And a lot of people were asking for a 3-inch open pore swim bait. Well, ask and you shall receive. All right. If I'm being honest, I'm glad we're done for the day. It is hot out here. In case you guys didn't know, in Florida in June, it's not very cold. So anytime you're out here, it's tough. But awesome mold, guys. This was something that I think Josh was originally a little hesitant to make. I'm not sure he was really all that hot on making an open pore swim bait mold this size, simply because of the challenges that it could cause, not in terms of him being able to make the mold and make it work and make it swim, but just how challenging it could be for people to pour it. And you know, the last thing that you really want to do is to put out something that the user, the bait maker, may wind up a little bit frustrated with. So it's, you know, sort of a, well, you know, do we put it out there and it's gonna be a little tougher to pour, but then a lot of people are asking about it. And you know, I was always a little quietly of the mindset, yeah, let's do it. You know, they want it, they can have it. You know, if you're willing to put in the practice, I'm convinced you can just about pour anything. Now I say that now until the G2 comes out, and then somebody else will have to film it, because no, I don't think I'll be I don't think I'll be up for that task. But yeah, super cool. I'm glad this finally happened. Do I want to work with 4mm eyeballs? No, I don't. And in fact, I'm pretty sure the ones I put on there were 5mm. They were just slightly too big for it, but that's what I had. So with that said, mold pours great, swims great, and you know, I think that's an achievement in and of itself. So I'm gonna put out a challenge to y'all. Anybody who picks up the G3 mold, I want to see you pour it consistent, clean, and I want to see your best work. Because if you can do it in that, every other mold, it's going to feel like you're pouring into the Grand Canyon, and then you have no excuses. So yeah, putting that out there, challenge to the bait making community. Let's see your best stuff in the G3. I'm really excited to see what people are going to do with it. I've already got a few people who I've quietly shown the bait to that want to buy some for smallmouth fishing. So looks like I'm gonna have to pour a few more G3s. But hey guys, thanks for watching. Like, subscribe, hit the notification bell. I will leave links to the mold down in the comments section. I believe it's going to be in that $79 price range. So to put that in perspective, the G4 I believe is $89. So it's priced kind of in accordance with the pricing structure of the molds. So we're going to quit rambling. We'll see you guys in the next video, and time to go get into AC.